So, I'm going to talk about the tree of life and its connection to the chakra system. So, Tatham, it's actually the same system. The tree of life and the chakra system are the same system. There is a difference from the standpoint in which it is described, but actually there are parallel uh, um, description of the same reality, which is like a spiritual, metaphysical reality, which is quite amazing that people in different places got to exactly the same kind of ideas. And I'm gonna first talk about the parallel. So the parallel goes like this, and I start from the top. They always say you have to start from the top. So the top is Keter, which means the crown, and the Crown Chakra, which are the same name even, if you translate it from Hebrew, and they represent the same thing, the divine energy, the cosmic energy of the absolute oneness, which is still undivided in subject and object. Actually, that's not ultimately true. There is this aspect in the crown chakra, which is the top of the crown chakra, and there is the crown itself, which actually represents energy, Shakti, in which it's already very, very multifaceted. It actually has 1,000 aspects, but it's all still oneness. It's like you have a puzzle, but the puzzle, the full picture, the one big patterns of creation, but it was not broken yet into little piece of the puzzle, which is our reality. It's still one picture and not fragmented parts. So that's actually on the level of the crown chakra, and it's the divine energy and consciousness in the most pure form. And then you go down. It's very complicated system. Actually, the crown chakra is actually a very complicated system. In Jewish Kabbalah, it has 5 layers and 2 basic archetypes called Arich Anpin and Atik Yomin, and all kind of things. I mean, but maybe it's beyond this video. But it's still really the same thing. And it's very important to understand that these models, even though they really describe the same thing, each one look at this reality from different angle, which give actually different insights. This is why you can learn by comparing them a lot about both of them. You can get new information out of it, and this is why I represent it. So the second level is Ajna Chakra, or the sixth eye. The third eye, sorry, the sixth chakra, and it's the third eye, and and it represents in Judaism by 2 sphirot called Chokhmah and Binah. And that's one of the other secrets of the chakra. The chakras have polarity, which means each chakra actually have a male and female. Lunar, which is the receptive, how to receive energies on these frequencies, because this is what chakra are, like antennas to receive specific energies from the universe. And the solar, how to emit this quality of energy to the universe. So for example, my lunar aspect of, I don't know, the third chakra, which is about confidence and fire and power, is open, I'd be very inspired by somebody who's very charismatic and powerful and have good leadership. But I will not be able to inspire other people. If my solar aspect is open, I can be very inspiring, very radiate a lot of confidence. But if another person like that will come and the other side is blocked, I might just reject it. In a way, I will not be able to get his energy. I will just be able to emit energy in a way. So, so that's very simplistic description, but for some reasons that I can't really go now, specific chakras had decided to be split into 2 in the model of the Tree of Life, and specific are not. But the Tree of Life have 7 layers. Whenever you look at this picture of the Tree of Life, you see it have 7 layers, and sometimes the lunar and the solar are manifested there, and sometimes are not. And the only chakra which doesn't have lunar and solar is actually the crown chakra, but it actually does have a lunar and solar, but it's not like vertical. It's like it's not like horizontal, but it's vertical. It's like Shakti and Shiva, energy, divine energy, and divine consciousness. So it's kind of another form of things. All the other chakras is only about energy. It's basically emitting energy or receiving energy. Because everything but the top of the crown chakra is actually not, it's energy, not pure consciousness. It's already rendering the world. But on the crown chakra is pure energy and pure consciousness, and then the energy is cascading, become more and more solid, more and more separated, more and more there is more and more illusion within this energy, more and more feel like it's not just divine, universal love, web that hold everything, but separate object, ego, and all of this. So that Ajna Chakra is the divine mind, or the cosmic mind, and has a lot to do with pure intelligence, with high concentration, meditative yogic insight, stuff like this. And in Judaism, in the Tree of Life, and in Kabbalah, it is called Chokhmah and Binah. Chokhmah is like this pure insight of understanding of something, and Binah is when you open an idea. I have this eureka, this idea, wow, I have a new idea, that's kind of coming from the crown, from God, as a seed, but the womb in which this mental seed is open and become like a whole idea is Binah, is the lunar aspect of it. So that's actually a process. And actually what really makes the difference is that the Tree of Life of Kabbalah, it's kind of the chakra system from the standpoint of God, and the chakra system more like the energy and consciousness from the standpoint of the personality. So then that, or the fifth chakra, Vishuddha chakra, chakra of purity, actually all you have to do is the throat, and that's actually about sending the energy from pure mind, from pure mental thought and abstract thing, abstract frequencies, into actually something which is much more concrete, into actually feeling, idea of personality, idea of self. And that's actually the bridge. That's also the narrowest part in our body, and that's actually the hardest jump, because it's from transpersonal expanded consciousness to a narrow individual consciousness. That's actually what this chakra does. Also the way up, this is taking you from feeling personal into feeling transpersonal. It has to be with purity, with expansion, with time and space, a lot of things like that. With the ether element, if the sixth chakra has to do with mind, with conscious, with thought, that the element of thought, it creates even all the elements on its purest form. This is already time and space, and knowledge in some ways, intuition, the space in which creation is then formed, like separated, concrete creation is take place within this kind of I don't know, play zone. So then we go down into what is called the Heart Chakra, after that of Vishuddha, and that also split into two. It's split into what is called Chesed and Gvura. Chesed represents the emissive side of love, which is about, in Judaism, giving, nourishing, teaching, helping, protecting, and the lunar side of love, which is actually putting boundaries. If I water a tree too much, I will kill it. So actually the lunar side here is putting limitation to how much abundance I give to the world, and knowing to love in the right way, according to the capacity of somebody who receives it, and also to my own capacity. So I will not love can kill. I can have a child and over loving it, be like a helicopter mom, I will actually destroy it in a way, and so on. So actually the real compassionate love is knowing exactly the amount of water my plant needs, and for this it's not just enough to have this solar aspect of giving all the time. It's also about how to limit and how much really will benefit another person, and this is like the Heart Chakra for the standpoint of lunar and solar. While sometimes when you talk about the Heart Chakra from the standpoint of yogic standpoint, so the lunar is also about how I receive energy, and the solar how I give energy. In this case, the energy of love, of hope, of aspiration, of spiritual excitement, of devotion, all this energy, compassion, it's all the Heart Chakra. And then I'll go a little bit down. The Heart Chakra in Kabbalah has another aspect, which is kind of secret, but I'm going to tell it. In yoga is actually a secret one. It's called Tiferet, which is kind of below the Heart Chakra, lunar and solar aspect. And this Tiferet, is a secret chakra in yoga, it's called Chrid, which actually the seat of the soul. So Tiferet is actually maybe one of the most important, but least known chakra in yoga. And Kabbalah is very important. Actually, that represents true spirituality, is when you activate from there, because this is uniting the two aspects of love in a way which is connected also to the divine. It's actually really important and secret. But example, Ramana Maharishi and other Advaitic yogis were actually having instructional focus there, because this is actually where the soul is. That's the seat of consciousness in a way, in some mystical Indian traditions as well. And that's actually a place which is representing how the drop of the divine, infinity, coming into individuality, and it's like, but having the same taste without distortion of what infinity is, of what divine is. It's like taking the ocean and putting it in a cup of water, something like that. That's the jiva, the individual soul is somehow connected to this, and it's still aspect of the Heart Chakra. And in Kabbalah, it's called Tiferet. And then you go down to the Manipura chakra, to the chakra of power of fire, which has to do with the navel, confidence, all of these things. The chakra of leaders. If the heart chakra is the chakra of saints and lovers and idealistic people, this is the chakra of, I don't know, leaders, Donald Trump's kind of thing, Alexander the Great, Churchill. It can be good and bad, and we talk about negativity and positivity of chakras and the tree of life in a second. And in the tree of life, it's Manipur. It's called Gvura vehod, which means, it's called Netzach vehod. Netzach vehod means actually the solar is about how to make something eternal with willpower. It's about conquering, and Hod is about appreciation. Actually, there are two sides of power. To be able to be having discipline and withstanding fortitude, and also to be able to receive power from the universe, which is by actually the power of appreciation, in a way. So that's actually what it means, Hod, from Hodaya, which means appreciation. It is much more profound than that, but I just give it as an idea. But that has to do with the third chakra and the lunar and solar aspect. And then you go to the second chakra. The second chakra has to do actually with sexuality, but not only with the ability to be social, with the water element. In the third chakra is fire, the fourth chakra is air, and the fifth chakra is ether. So the second chakra is water. It's about emotions and pleasure and social interactions and being funny and charm, but also having mood swings and having, I don't know, crazy jealousy and all kind of things like this. Actually, our world is mostly 88% water, they say, so, and it's actually ruled by the second chakra. When you're on the second chakra, it's all about when I drink my next hot chocolate, and eat my next, I don't know, cake, and have go to the next movie, and about sex, and who love who betray who, and gossip, and whatever. This is the second chakra kind of frequency. It can be more refined or less refined, but the second chakra is actually very important in the tree of life. It's called Yesod, which has to do with fertility, which actually impregnating things. From the standpoint of God, as I said, the tree of life is more like the chakra system of the eye of God, and the chakras are more like the same energy system from the eye of the individual. So anything that have to descend to the world has to go from beginning from the initial will, divine will, and then go through the mind, to this having rendering as a thought, and then as an expanded thought, and has to have connection with the material world, how this thought should be manifested in the real world, and then has to go down through having practical, emotional, and mental ideas about that. But then everything has to be kind of calmed down, collected down. All these energies, processes have to be collected, and then it has to be charged with this sexual energy, actually, which or creative energy, which actually would give everything the power actually to really be functional, to move. If we don't charge it with this creative energy, it will not be born into the world. It's like the womb. That's actually the womb of the cosmos, or this is the generating energy that if it's not charged with it, like, you don't have the passion behind it. You don't have the energy to manifest anything unless you use this Yesod energy or second chakra energy. And then the lowest chakra, but it's not necessarily low, it's called Malchut in Judaism, which is has to do with the earth element, and Malchut means kingdom, and Yesod means base, by the way, but like the second chakra, this is like the kingdom. This is where the energy have to go to render into material world. So from a divine will till a pure thought, till a expanded thought, till a real plan that we should, when it's become like a real concrete plan, to the right approach to it, and how to really manifest it, to charge it with energy which is creative, and then ultimately to bring it to a physical action. That's the point of Malchut, when something becomes fully physical action and rendered into the world. That's from the divine perspective. And for the chakra system, the first chakra has to do with physical body, has to do with grounding, has to do with ability to take care of the physical needs, physical instincts, has to do with Mother Earth, if you want nourishment on the physical, has to do with practicality, and so on. And each chakra is actually a mental level, have different goals, different heaven, in a way, and different hell. And so, just as an idea, first chakra, I go now up, down, up. First chakra, hell, is like lack of security, lack of physical safety. It's like lack of feeling protected in the body. But heaven is when you have the house and fertility, children, or whatever. And I aspire, when that's my chakra, I aspire to get there. I aspire to have this safety and to be a nice farmer with a little house and a lot of children and prosperity and food like this. But on the second chakra, it doesn't really care about it. I want excitement. I want sex. I want pleasure. I want to go to the city, forget the farm, and have a lot of fun and have a lot of excitement, kind of thing. I'm talking in a general way. But if I'm already on the third chakra, this also doesn't concern me. I want now power. I want to conquer the world. I want anybody to know my name. I want anybody to bow down when they see me, in a way. But that's when I'm going to the heart chakra, that already doesn't matter anymore. Because then I want to give. I think that even in the biggest ego that I have, that all the world will serve me, I actually empty. I actually never feel satisfied, and I just lock in this power game, which is like Game of Thrones type. So I'm the king, but everybody wants to kill the king, and I have to be always the top dog. And it's actually a form of hell. It seems like I have all the money, power, beauty, whatever, but actually I know that I'm in hell because I feel separate from the core of creation, which is love and service. And then I just give it all up. Mentally, I don't have to leave the kingdom. It's just an approach change. And then I start serving the world. And that's the heart chakra. So in the heart chakra, all I want to do is actually to serve the world and love the world and give the world. But that's still on a very dualistic level, which means me helping them and so on, me bringing love to somebody else. On the throat chakra, it's already not me. It's like a transpersonal reality, because when I'm still an individual, I'm still limited. And we all have, all the created being by Kabbalah idea, have the core passion to know the source, the root. Get and identify with the root, not with the manifestation. So the higher level of pleasure, of bliss, of what I aspire, actually we all aspire the transpersonal experience, to be bigger than a personality, to be the life force, to be creativity. When I'm doing anything, any artist who want to create, actually the real ecstatic moment he seek all his life is that he's not creating, but he is creation, that he is himself creativity. Every scientist is not that he's knowing something, to be himself knowledge, and so on. So that's the level I become the thing I'm seeking, in a way. When you make love with a person, and the heart chakra, you love a person, and the throat chakra, you and this person are united. You are one being, basically. You are together, harmony, in a way. And so that's a big shift. But that's also not ultimate. In the sixth, the third eye, is I want to go even beyond, to be in touch, not just with expanded form, be beyond myself, and be the pure essence of what I want to. It's like I want to be in touch with the core of creation itself. I want to be in touch, to have to touch the source of reality, to see beyond all the veils of illusion, and even the duality of I'm expanded. It's still an I'm, and I'm much bigger than what I used to be before, but I'm still limited in a way. And there is me and God different ways. There's still duality. In this way, I aspire to have this thing which is beyond duality, even, and to be even in control of creation. To have this power of the mind. Ultimately, is that you are part of God. You create, actually. Your thought has the power to create worlds in a way, and has the power to penetrate through all the veils of illusion. You are seeing beyond any illusion, and that's kind of the aspiration of the ultimate spiritual Ajna chakra kind of thing. And you get to all this power of the mind, which are great. It's about cities, it's about high concentration, it's about high intelligence, it's about seeing beyond. So that's actually the sixth chakra. But even that is not the ultimate. The ultimate is actually the crown. What is the crown? That I understand that even if I have all the powers of creation in the world, and I can be like a God, I'm not God. That there is still intelligence far, 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 far greater than what I can imagine. And I surrender and become a true server, or you can say slave, but it's not really slave in a bad way. And I want to not just understand, control, whatever, that I want to be that ultimately. I want to be divine in the ultimate way. On my rendering of manifestation, my body manifests the divine, but on the level of consciousness, I am becoming the divine. But that's by total surrender of my ego, total surrender of whatever make me personal. And the Ajna chakra, the third eye, still have a personality. It's very expanded, very fine, very, 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 but it's still me and that. And it can even go, the devil is a third eye being on the evil side. He has all the power of creation, but he actually is still really ruled by ego. So that's a moment when the ego have to totally die. And then I experience the pure love, and I am the pure love and pure consciousness and pure existence, Satchitananda if you want, and pure bliss actually. So that's the 7 chakras also from conscious level. And as I said, each chakra or each sphere which have actually very similar meaning are not just a philosophical idea. There are practices to activate them, and there are levels in which they activate. So for example, in Kabbalah they say the lowest level, it's called Nekuda, or just a dot. Let's say I have potential for compassion. That has to do with the heart chakra. But it was never activated in me till a moment I saw, some beggar on the street and he looked very like starving. And then I have this activated, and from just a potential, it become a sphere. It's like becoming a real energy, and I give him money, or I help him, or look at his eyes and smile. That's a higher level. But let's say I decided, no, I want to be love. I want to express love. I want to be a good person and do it. So every day I'm giving money to beggars. Every day I'm thinking about how to do good thing to the world, and so and so. This sphere becomes something called Partzuf. What is Partzuf? Partzuf is a face. I become an embodiment of that energy. And that means I'm an archetype of love. So now Jesus is an archetype of love. It's like embodiment of love in a person. Or whatever saint you want to take, Rumi is embodiment of love. Is love as a person expressed in another way than Jesus. Doesn't matter what. Each one is another filter, or like a diamond. It's another facet of a diamond of the same light of love in a way. But let's say I took it to the ultimate. It become what he called Olam. Olam means a world. There is a level in which my goodness becomes so deep, all I see is good. All I see is love. A person who is evil, I saw people like this that are real saints. Some people who are big criminal, mafia people, come to them. These mafia criminals, when they are in their spheres, they become like a good puppy. Really nice, really sweet. All the goodness come out of them. They can only see love. Only love can exist around them. And actually they create a reality of love around them. That's called Olam. That's the highest level of love. And everything is interpreted in them as love. And they create love actually in whatever they do. And that's when the 4th chakra get to that level. And so the last thing I want to say about this for today is that actually, as you have the chakras, there is like the dark chakra. Each chakra has a good side and a bad side, or in Judaism they say the tree of life, there's also the tree of death. Or if you want the tree of knowledge, good and bad, which means every energy, the divine goes through these antennas, brings through this antenna, because it's basically being a flute of God, with 7, if you want, holes, 7 ways God can express itself. It has like the opposite, which the ego, which imitates God, can take. So for each one of the sphirot, you have what is called klipot. What are klipot? Klipot are, in the metaphor, it's like every fruit has to have a peel. And first the peel comes, and then the fruit comes. So it's about our evolution. We cannot go without the peels. We cannot go without the dark side of the sphirot or the chakras. But the idea is that every growth spirituality, we want to peel the peels, take the peel out, and then we can actually really allow God to shine through us. So that's a whole really deep subject. There are 3 peels that we have to break, and there are 1 peel that we want to transform and use it. I will just give one metaphor if you understand this concept, and I want to go to it. So I just say one metaphor about it. You can take the idea of 4 different fruits. You can take a coconut, for example. That's a peel which is very hard. You have to crush it. Like when I have, for example, a desire which is really strong and gross, I just want, to rape somebody, or I just want, to steal somebody money. That's a desire you have to break. And that comes from a specific chakra, but in a very serious way. But then you have like the peel of, for example, an apple. Not an apple, an orange. This orange, I cannot eat the peel, but I can cook it, make jam with it or something. Let's say I have a really strong sexual desire, but I know I can make babies with desire. I can just sublime it. I can do something useful with it. I can't really express it the way it is, but I can do some work with it. And that's also, I'm not going to steal because I really want this Ferrari, but I'm willing to work now 20 years to get a Ferrari. It's not so good, but at least it's not destructive. I can do something that I can grow with it. But then the third level is the apple. The apple, you can already eat the peel. It's actually when desire become much more refined. And for example, I can use it if you take the idea of again desire. I can already use the desire in a really good way. In yoga, I use the sexual energy and transmute it, transform it, so it become like very like prayer and meditation. Actually, charge me. So I can use it in this way, and a refined desire can be useful because I can help people. Like somebody I really like and I really have attraction, but I can control and refine it. I can just give him more. I can help her or him more. It kind of charge my ability to love that person, even when I can separate it in my attachment to him and my pure intention to help him, for example. But the ultimate, it's called the grape. Because grape, the peel and the fruit is the same. You cannot separate them. For example, again, take the idea of desire or sexual desire. On the ultimate, orgasm is like a cosmic, it's like they say is samadhi, the experience of a yogi, and orgasm is like take the same experience and multiply it a lot, in a way. Like the ultimate, when you go to the core of desire, actually you find something very deep. You find God there, you find something very, very spiritual because all the desires in the roots are actually for God or for the ultimate consciousness or for this pure awakened state when Shiva and Shakti, where consciousness and energy are in the pure form. So that's the most refined way, and then it's actually a divine thing. So it's a level of refinement, and each chakra can be refined and can be become like a shining diamond if we know how to work with it. And basically that's kind of a very basic introduction to it. There's so much into it, but that's enough for today.